Hello folks, hope you're doing well. My name is Marc Gallagher. I am a professional musician here in England, and for those who haven't seen recently, I've done a bit of an overhaul of my electric guitar pedal board. I've taken it from something medium to monstrous, and I am totally here for it. And one of those changes that I made was looking at a different flavor of overdrive pedal in the form of the Bluesbreaker overdrive pedal, and I got the Wampler Pantheon Deluxe to satisfy this particular craving. So for those unfamiliar with the Bluesbreaker, let's try and do a quick guitar splainy thing for you. So Eric Clapton once played guitar for John Mayall and the Bluesbreakers. He took a Marshall amplifier, cranked it, and made some lovely guitar sounds on that. Those amps then got sold onwards as Bluesbreakers in tribute to Clapton and his time with the Bluesbreakers. Then the 90s, Marshall released the Bluesbreaker pedal, which was aiming to capture the same overdrive sound of the Bluesbreaker amps. And that circuit kind of took off when it was learned that John Mayall used the Bluesbreaker on his album Continuum, at least on some songs of the album Continuum. And then everyone and their dog made their take of the Marshall Bluesbreaker. The Wampler Pantheon is one such version of this. However, I chose to get the deluxe version because it's 2-channel, so it gives me more stuff to play with, but also because channel 1 is more like vintage voice. It is aimed as like identical to the original Bluesbreaker circuit, whereas channel 2 is the Pantheon, which is like Wampler's take on the Bluesbreaker. So you've got original thing, and then Wampler's take on it. And that's what I wanted to do with this video. I wanted to explore the Bluesbreaker thing because I've never had such a pedal like this before, and that's the idea of this video. In terms of the rig, we're going through my 1991 Les Paul Studio. This is my favorite electric guitar. I'm going through a Fender Blues Junior. These are the settings. It's being mic'd up with an AKG C414, just a little bit off center from the speaker cone. Here is what this guitar sounds like. I'm on the neck pickup. Here's what I sound like with no pedal on. Got the amp cooking a little bit because of the humbuckers. I'm also going on full whack. All my volume and tone at the moment are on full. When we are going through this pedal, the main selling point of the Bluesbreaker is it was very good as being a transparent pedal where it wasn't coloring the sound so much and you could use it to just push the amp a little bit. So on the settings, we've got our 2 EQ knobs, a bass and treble. I'm just going to keep those dead center. In terms of the volume, I've got that just set to sort of unity gain, so we're not getting much of a lift of volume. And let's start to bring, firstly, no pedal again. Bring in the channel 1 of the Pantheon. Just got like this tiniest trickle there of gain. From here, let's just start to bring a bit more gain in. So just gonna pop that up to about 9 o'clock, see what happens. Oh, I love that. Besides the knobs that we have on here, we also have some switches on the sides. We'll firstly take a look at voicing. So currently the voicing is set to the top mode. Of the 3 positions, the top mode is hard clipping. So it's got a bit more of a crunchy element to it. The bottom is a soft clipping, so that gives us a bit of a more smooth sound. Top, hard clipping. Smooth. That soft clipping, I like that. And then there's also a middle position as well, which is there. The other switch we've got is a gain level. Currently I've got it set to the bottom, which is the lowest amount of gain. Middle. And top. You okay, Brandy? You loving the tunes? Good. So the Bluesbreaker is kind of vaunted for being like a bit of a low gain, just pushing the amp. So I think for channel 1 of this, I'm going to prefer to stick to keeping it in sort of smooth territory. The original Bluesbreaker was a very famously low output pedal. You had to keep it unity gain, you had to like have the volume and a bit of the drive like on max. So I like what Wampler have done here by giving you some extra welly that you can put into it, but also it might not be necessary for my requirements. That middle position I could see working as a solo boost kind of thing, but I wouldn't want to be doing my sort of chugging on chords along with that kind of gain. It's just a bit much for me, so I'm going to bring that right down to the lowest gain level. Let's just also take the pedal out. Yeah, you really hear it. Then I want to just crunch that a little bit more with just a touch more gain. Actually, take the gain down a bit, but what I do want is more treble. Let's just pop it to 2 o'clock. And let's also spend some time just messing with the settings of the EQ to its extreme. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way I'd prefer to set it, where I've just got pushing it a bit with the knobs at about 2 o'clock, except for the gain, which is about 10 there. The next thing from here is I want to look at channel 2. So this is the Wampler Pantheon side of things, where it's Wampler's more boutique take on the Bluesbreaker circuit. So it's going to inherently sound a bit different. And what I want to do is just take a look and start it from the same place that I started side 1 with this. So I want the clipping to be hard clipping, which is what I started with before, and the gain to be nice and low. The gain knob is set to nothing, the volume is at midday, and so are the bass and treble. So that, as it currently stands, it's losing a bit of treble and it's also a bit quieter. So now I'm just going to pop the gain up a little bit. Take the pedal out. So far I'm preferring channel 1, it's just got a bit more bite to it, but back to channel 2. So let's give more gain, more treble, see if I can get to where I want to get. Still a bit quiet. More gain. Okay, having some fun with it. Let's see if I take the gain switch and pull that up, pull the knob down a bit, see what happens. Yeah, too loud. Bit more compressed, just more gain, more squared the wave a little bit. And that's also because the clipping is hard. If I bring the clipping down to the soft clipping thing, harder clipping, back to smooth. I want to not necessarily have these channels do the exact same thing, because where's the fun in that? You want to have them set differently. I really like what channel 1 is doing, which is I like that biting thing it's got going on. The next stage from here then, I like what I've got on channel 1. Channel 2 is gonna give more volume, less gain. I think that's the way I want to treat this pedal. Take the bass out as well, a little bit. Okay. And then no pedal at all. The next thing we can do from here is also engage the presence knob. So this presence knob applies to both of the channels. It's sort of like an extra bit of sparkle. In the manual, what do they call it? Add sparkle and top end to both channels. So it advised to start all the way counterclockwise and then adjust it to taste. So engage channel 1. Oh wow, let's dial it back a little bit. We can do the same with channel 2, so no presence whatsoever. 9 o'clock. Let's exaggerate it, 12. full whack. Yeah, so obviously you can over-egg the pudding a little bit there, but having it maybe 10 o'clock sort of region, that's pretty nice. Although I am worried it's getting a bit nosy now, so trying to find other ways of processing that. Channel 1. Where we're currently at with the pedal settings, channel 1 has some hard clipping but low gain and throwing the presence in. That's a bit dense. I quite like that. Channel 2 has got soft clipping and a medium amount of gain, and that sounds like... Ooh, that's a bit nosy. That's a little bit almost Tube Screamer-ish, that kind of mid-honk thing going on. Take the voicing back to hard. Voicing back down. No, okay. Yeah, I might want to take a bit of volume and treble off there as well, because that's a bit too honky for my taste. Take the pedal out. Okay, so that's actually gone quieter, so I need to more volume so it's about the same as when the pedal's in. I like this one better. I like that one better. And then if I've got both of these channels available, why choose one over the other? Why not just stack them? So that's where you get some real fun territory. So what I can do is have channel 1 be my main, like just chugging along with stuff. And then channel 2, I can have my sort of solo, single note playing happen. Let's see what happens. So I think that both of those together, it's a bit much. Like, it's fun, but it's also really, really compressed. And I think that probably the best way, if I was to use the Wampler Pantheon in this kind of way, by having one side being my main thing and then another being a solo boost, I need to probably have like a mid-gain, have the gain level to be a bit lower, as well as this, and then maybe change the clipping. I've got this down to sort of low, but what I want to do is maybe just have this act as a lift, where on its own, it doesn't quite work, but when in tandem with this, it works much better. Let's have a quick exploration of that while it's still got a little bit of time. So what I want to do is take the gain down a bit, and the voicing, let's move that up to mid clipping, and take the bass out a bit more, and have just mainly treble and volume. On its own, not great. But I think we got it. I think we've got that. Like, overall, I think I prefer Channel 1 better. We've got this hard clipping stuff going on. We've got a low gain, but it's just really biting in terms of how it works. Then by not treating Channel 2 in the same way, which overall, when sort of given that same kind of treatment, is a bit nosy, what I'd like to do is have that low, but just giving a lift in terms of volume and a bit more overall presence. And that works as a nice little solo boost if I treat Channel 1 as my main tone. So yeah, I think that's what we've got for now. Obviously, context informs everything, especially when I think about like what band I'm in, what kind of music I'm playing. But as an initial exploration, I think we've got something here. But I'm really glad we spent some time going through the Wampler Pantheon Overdrive Deluxe. I'm really glad that we spent some time. And if you enjoyed this video, then feel free to like it if you want. Follow me on your favourite social media at Marc Gallagher Music. Until then, my name is Marc Gallagher. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys down the road. Cheers.